You're welcome.
Now, before we move into today's discussion, I want us to begin with a brief recap of what we discussed on Monday.
All right, so thank you so much. And I want to say good afternoon to you and to your co workers at PLUZZ FM. On Monday, we were talking about some of the hidden towns in Ghana, and then we spoke about three of them, namely Vlitoji, Volta, Ashanti, Achimpoji, Adope, and the third one is Lugbatota. We spoke briefly about what they made them stand out, and I spoke about their communal work, their taboo days, their farming activities, the kind of cash crops that they have over there. And then also we spoke about the reason why they are off radar, and I spoke about access road, which is a hindrance to most of these towns. We also talk about um, their characteristics, which I spoke about. They almost all of them are situated on a mountain. They all are engaged in farming activities, and then they all have some tourism potentials for the nation.
Great.
And I think the last point was the importance of paying attention to
To
them.
them.
And yeah, and then we talk about how they are able to preserve their cultural practices and their vegetations and then the tourism potentials.
Great. Now, building on the towns we discussed on Monday, we realized that many of them thrive quietly through farming and agriculture. So, what role does agriculture play in sustaining these communities you've mentioned?
All right, thank you very much. I think for these towns that we are discussing, agriculture is actually their everything. You can't find any factories there. There's no other job there. They only farm. So through these farming activities, they are able to sell some of the produce to get money to pay their ward school fees, to pay their hospital bills when it becomes necessary. They also build small businesses out of this. You get to the towns and you see some small provision store somewhere, some small drinking spot somewhere. So all these things are proceeds from the farming activities. So basically, it helps them in maintaining or sustaining their livelihood.
Their livelihoods. Now, from your experience in such towns, what cultural practices or traditions do you often find strongly preserved?
Okay, thank you so much. As for this one, I would like to take it town by town.
Okay.
Um, for Lugbatota, for instance, they have a festival that they call Awana Festival that they celebrate on 25th of December to 2nd of January every year. This Awana means welcome. So on these days, they welcome or they invite every indigent that has hailed from Lugba Tota to come back home and celebrate with them. The kings and the queens, they dress beautifully in our ever kente clothes. They drum and dance at the woo. They drum and dance. There's a particular drum that they have or dance that they have that they call obrim. That is unique to them that they perform, which uh, talks about their unity, the way they live in harmony and everything that they do. So that's about Logbatota. Let's quickly zoom into Vlitoji. Vlitoji also have a festival called Miva Apeza. That also means come home. Like, so they invite everybody back home on the 26th of December. That's a day after Christmas to come and celebrate with them. That's the day they showcase their hunting skills. Their farming is promoted. They bring some kind of farm produce, some special yams are on display. The kind of cocoa and everything is on display to show how they still hold their farming in high esteem. They also have taboo days. Some taboo days differ from town to town, but these people, their taboo days is every 5 days. They name the days according to their own understanding. The first day is called Agletegbe. The second day is Agleviegbe. The third day is Agletongbe. The fourth day is Aglenigbe. And the fifth day, which is Afenogbe. That day, no one goes to the farm. You just have to stay at home. So this is the day where if the chiefs have any message for the town, They gather all of them at the community center and speak to them. This is also the day they engage in communal labor. So everyone is supposed to just be at home so that this day is observed. So if you are a visitor and you are visiting this particular town to send a message to them and you want it to get to the whole town, then you need to ask for their taboo day before you get there. And this is otherwise any other day the town is almost like a ghost town. Everybody wakes up and they go on their businesses. Then they also have a fidodo. I think on Monday I spoke about how they come together and they farm for one person.
Yes.
So they actually have a name for it. Okay. Efidodo. When they declare Efidodo, then it means that the whole town is going to one particular person's farm to farm for that person, or they are going to build for one particular person. And they have their reasons for doing it, and they do it religiously, and everybody must obey. And that's one beautiful thing about them, one culture practice that they never let go. Now, let's get to Puerta Santi, Puerta Chim, Puerta Poji, and the Puerta Dofe. They also have one common festival that they celebrate, which is Letivizan. Letivi means star in heaven. They celebrate it on the 4th of September every year. They actually erected an monument in the middle of the town, which signifies a unity that they have to compromise on at a point in time. When they actually migrated to that side, they were living there. They were all traditionalists until when the Bremen mission people came with Christianity, and some people have to follow Christianity, and that didn't go well with some. So there was actually some confusion there, but it was retarding their growth, retarding their unity. So at a point, the leaders came together and said, hey, we need to just come back as one and live under one umbrella for a common goal. So they brought the Christians together, the traditionalists together, and they decided that, hey, after all, we are one family. Let's do this together. So that day, they actually erected an emolument that bring them together. So every 4th of September, they celebrate this very festival, and they play bobobo, they play adevu, they play asafogu, and they dance and they make merry all day.
Wow. Now, how do these communities even balance development while holding on to their identity as a people?
So far, most of the developmental projects that I've seen in the area have been out of their own effort, though I see some schools being built by NGOs and few of them by government and all that. But, you get to a town and you see the school building and you're wondering, how did this actually happen? And they tell you, we built it ourselves. So they come together and they realize that we need a school. And so they do communal labor, build a school. After building the structure, now they trace wherever GES will be and tell them, we have a school now. Can you now give us teachers to teach? Every developmental project that is in the town, because it's being done by themselves, they know how to balance it with their identity, so it doesn't affect them in any way at all.
Now, if we look at all these towns functions, what lessons can the bigger cities like the Accra, Kumasi, and the other cities learn from them?
Okay, first of all, they eat what they grow. I think our taste for foreign goods these days are becoming
you can say
too
that
much.
Again.
Yeah. So I think we should be eating Ghana and be wearing Ghana. This is what exists in those areas a lot. The unity that also exists there generally. We are supposed to love each other as Ghanaians. But that love, I don't know where it is going now. Everybody is just chasing money. And we are leaving that aspect out. And also in the villages, I don't know, those of you that were born in the villages, you realize that one man's child is everybody's child.
Yes.
You can't go to town and mess up and then they'll be waiting for your parents to discipline you. No. Once you mess up in town, any other person can correct you there and there.
And it happens in there.
Yes, that is still happening in these towns. And they are practicing it so well that you go to the place and you don't know whose child is who, because they live around. The kids play together and they do everything together. So that's one other thing. The last thing I'd like to talk about when it comes to the lessons that the bigger cities will have to learn is they always check on each other. Some of the places, they are quite populated, but they know every single person. Even a baby born today is known. So that kind of story where in the city they say somebody has died in his room and it takes 3 days before they got to know.
Yeah.
Some it took 4 days. It can never happen in these villages because once we are up and we are going to the farm and they did not hear from you, somebody is checking on you. So they do that and it helps them so much. If you are sick and anything is happening to you, it affects the whole town. So they check on each other a lot, and I think that must be brought back to our bigger cities as well.
That's deep. Now, to wrap up, how does paying attention to these towns change our perception of rural Ghana?
All right, thank you. These towns, like I said the last time, they have a lot of tourism potential. So some of them can become travel destination for tourists, and also they are Ghanaians. And I feel that when the national cake is being distributed, some should get to them in the form of roads, schools, and better living conditions. I'll also touch briefly on the name of some of these towns. For instance, Puerto Ashanti. I told you that some people usually call it Ashanti Puerto or Puerto Achim. So when people hear names like this, they think it's Ashanti region. So though you are coming to Ashanti Puerto, you go to the station and they direct you to a Kumasi station. You board a car and you are going to that side. So
Okay.
because we don't talk about them enough, I want people to know that hey, these towns they exist and they are in the Volta region. The last thing I want to leave with you on this one is that I don't know, but everybody wants to live in the city. Do you know that when God created human being, He put us in the garden, but not in the city?
Yeah.
The reason is that we are supposed to connect with nature as much as possible and do the things that God actually wants us to do. Now we cut down all the trees, we destroy all the mountains, and then we put concrete there and we say we are living in them. It will surprise you to know that you get to some of these villages, people are actually 110 years old and they are walking about normal,
it's true.
Very normal. You won't see this in the cities. It's just because of one thing, maybe because we've destroyed that natural environment that is supposed to be healing us every day. So I think that we should conserve the trees, the vegetation, the rivers, and everything, and then I think our life will be longer on Earth.
You see, I did a quick research and I realized that even in Puerto Ashanti or Ashanti Puerto, there is a waterfall over there.
Yes. It's called Chigam.
Yeah.
I think we'll be talking more about their natural resources next week. I will unearth most of them. They all have, actually.
Sure. We'll talk about that next week, God willing then.
Sure.
But Richard Nyamaku is a ranger and he's been our resource person for this week, talking about unknown destinations and towns right here in Ghana, their values, their culture, and their livelihood. This is what we've been talking about today. And we want to say thank you to you, my brother. Thank you so much. Like Mauna Yirao. For all that you're doing for me, and Mother Ghana. So and we're also looking forward to coming together to join you on the expedition. Oh God, yes.
Let's do that.
We should go on expedition. We should tour all these places together.
And some of these places that we are talking about, I'll take you there, then you see the things yourself.
Exactly so. And so that we can even share it with the rest of the world on our digital space.
Sure.
Thank you so much, my brother. Have a lovely Wednesday.
You're welcome.
All right.
Yeah, same.
All right. Bye. So it is 41 minutes after the hour of 12, and a while ago you heard from myself and